see the ground? Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me.
Good morning, traders. What's up and what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, aka Alpha Nation, aka the Alpha Fam? What's up, traders? What's going on? And happy Money Monday. That's right, it's Money Monday, July 25th, 2022. It's 8:57. We have 33 minutes until the market opens. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a huge week inside of chat. It's going to be a big week in the markets. Guys, if you are not ready to go, if you are not prepared, come on, we got to get you guys prepared. It's all about preparation, right? Not just for our intraday session, not just for our day trades, but get prepared. What's going on this week? What's so important this week? That is really going to dictate where the markets are headed next, where the best opportunities are going to be. I'm telling you what, guys, there is a lot going on this week. There was a lot that happened over the weekend as well to get us prepared for today. Guys, I'm waking up every morning and I'm trying to get an idea of what's going on in the world. Where is the opportunity come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't care what day it is. I'm focused. I'm ready to find the opportunity and get prepared. It's all about preparation. So, what do we got going on this week, team, right? What's very important about this week? Not only do we have buku earnings, and when I say buku earnings, I literally mean buku earnings. You got Coca-Cola, General Motors, you got McDonald's, ADM, you got Chipotle, Visa, Microsoft, Alphabet, Shopify, Boeing, Spotify, Meta, Ford, Qualcomm, Etsy. We can keep on going. Apple, Amazon, Roku, Intel. Guys, we have huge, highly anticipated earnings for this week. This is like the biggest week for earnings, number one. Number two, what else do we got going on for this week? Well, we have Thursday's Q2 GDP data. Are we officially heading to a recession? Are we already in a recession, right? The key definition of a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. Q1, we had negative GDP growth. We will get Q2 data this Thursday. And then what else is huge about this week, guys? We talked about this last week. What else is big? Not only do we have so many quality companies, big companies with earnings, that's going to be huge, right? Not only do we have GDP data for Q2, we have the Fed's interest rate decision. Like, what else could happen in the market? Why not just go ahead and throw triple witching in there, right? Why not just throw triple witching in there and then throw monkeypox lockdowns? Let's just really just make this an interesting week, right? This is going to be an interesting week. This is going to be a huge week, not just the type of opportunity that we have for today moving forward this week, but the opportunity that we have next week, next month, moving forward. Where's the market headed to next? Where is the best of the best opportunity? Guys, get strapped in. Get serious, because this is a huge week in the market. And I want each and every one of you here getting ready, identifying these opportunities with the team, and making it happen like we do every single day, guys. All right, so that is what we have going on this week. Again, just to recap before we dive into our morning newsletter breakdown, really getting you guys prepared for the day with the top stocks where I think the best opportunity is for our day trades. Again, just to recap, you got big earnings this week. Dive inside of options chat, scroll on up, check out the most anticipated earnings of this week. Some big names, and not just earnings as far as their profitability, their revenue. The biggest thing that we're looking for here is their guidance. Are they going to lower their guidance, raise their guidance? Are they going to be like Snapchat and just do away with their guidance altogether, right? That's why Snapchat last week dumped 30 to 40%. Not only did they miss on their earnings, but they didn't even issue guidance in the first place. They said, it's so bad, we're not even going to issue guidance. Are we going to see companies follow suit, right? Are we going to see companies lower their guidance, raise their guidance? Again, that's what we're looking for here this week with earnings, not just their profitability, their revenue, but what is their guidance moving forward for the rest of the year? So again, big earnings, right? You have GDP, Q2 GDP data this week. Are we officially in a recession? Are we entering into a recession, or have we been in a recession? We're going to find out this week, guys. And then how aggressive is the Fed going to be? Are they going to come out and do 75 basis points like the market has priced in? Or are they going to be more aggressive at 100 basis points? What's the Fed's decision this week with interest rates? That's going to dictate where the market's headed to next. Are we going to go back and retest June's lows? Or was this a bottom? And should we still be adding? Should we be adding for that summer bottom, that end of year rally? What's the opportunity, not just for this week, but moving forward the rest of the year? This is going to be a big week, team. We're definitely going to be able to pinpoint that and get prepared and position ourselves correctly to make it happen. But right now today, team, we have 27 minutes until the bell, and I want to get you guys prepared for the day with the best day trading opportunities that we have. Over the weekend, the WHO, World Health Organization sounds the alarm over the current monkeypox outbreak. The status, the label they gave it was the same status and label they gave to COVID-19 just in 2020. So now we have some fear with monkeypox outbreak, right? We saw that article Friday night or Saturday morning. Right when I saw that article, what popped in my head? Monkeypox, small cap stocks. Because 2 months ago, we started to see these headlines, and then we saw these pharmaceutical companies, a lot of these companies that really pertain to like the monkeypox, they ripped and ran. So the first thing that popped in my head was, hey, let's get prepared for Money Monday. Why? How are we getting prepared? Well, think back 2 months ago. What stocks absolutely ripped and ran? I remember SIGA going from around $7 to like $17 within 3 days. It was a good short squeeze candidate as well. This happened back in May, right? Another stock I remember very clearly that ripped and ran on that monkeypox news was GOVX. So why in the world is GOVX up 78% at this point in time? Why in the world is SIGA up 20% at this point in time? Why are these two stocks trading well above their average volume? GOVX is, not necessarily SIGA, but GOVX is trading, well above its average volume. Well, simply because WHO comes out, the WHO comes out and issues an emergency statement that, hey, monkeypox is getting a little bit out of control here. It's definitely something we need to take serious. So now we're starting to see a lot of these companies move on up that pertain to the monkeypox. So again, look at SIGA, look at GOVX, go to FinViz, dissect stocks, look for like sector sympathy. What are other stocks that can move in sympathy with this article, with this statement that was issued by the WHO? So right now, team, you know where my focus is. My focus is going to be with GOVX and SIGA, right? Last time, this is where our focus should have been, and it was, and we absolutely crushed it. SIGA has a reason to move big today. GOVX has a great reason to be a big mover today as well. So my number two stocks right now at this point in time, simply going to be SIGA and GOVX. So let's go ahead and get you guys prepared. GOVX support's down at $1, right? So right now support is at $1 here on GOVX. Where's resistance? Well, we can clearly see resistance up off these highs here in pre-market. Let's just call it 125 here on GOVX. So right now, $1 support, GOVX, 125. top resistance. Now, what do? We go to the daily chart, look left, find areas of support, resistance, supply, demand, whatever you guys are doing, just look left and see where the stock could go next. And I see potential to 135 and then up towards around the 150 level here on GOVX. Even if it doesn't get to 135 to 140, 150, as long as it comes down and holds $1 and we could be making entries off $1 support, we know we have potential back to 125. That's a 25% return just on GOVX as a day trade opportunity if it holds above $1 psychological strong support. So right now, team, keep it that simple. Let's watch GOVX above $1. We have potential back to 125 and then 135. At this point in time, it is my number one stock to watch now for the day. Number 2, SIGA. All right, so same thing. SIGA was our mover back in May when we started to see a lot of those monkeypox headlines. This stock went from around $657 and spiked within 3 days, hitting those, I remember, post-market highs of like $17. It was a big time mover. Not only the first week, but the second week, and it's been a stock that's consistently been creeping and grinding on up over the past couple of months. Right now, SIGA is up about 20% at this point in time. Nice low float stock, trading decent volume, right? The average volume is 11 million shares. Right now, 7 million shares, but again, that's definitely going to exceed the average volume today when we open on up at 9:30. So right now, SIGA, same thing as GOVX. We want to keep the stock on high watch. So what are our levels on SIGA to really hone in on? Right now, we have support down towards around 1386 on SIGA, guys. All right, so we want to see this ideally hold above 1386 and re-break that 1457. If we can bounce and hold above 1386, back above 1457, that's where I believe the next wave of volume is going to move in, and we can see the next leg up through $15, through the VWAP, all the way back up to this very strong level of resistance here at $16. Now, if it ever breaks $16, the sky is the limit because the all-time high on SIGA was $15.79. So, if we break over those pre-market highs, there's no ceiling. The next ceiling is going to be $20 psychological resistance. Now, yes, take some profit at 17, 18, 19, etc. Every whole dollar, natural levels of resistance, but our major level of resistance isn't going to be until we get to $20 if we see SIGA hold on up back above that 1457. I do think that's where volume is going to start initially moving on in. Buyers are going to start jumping back into this trade, pushing it through that $15 level, through the VWAP, back up to 16. We see that $16 break. I do not see why we could not hit $20. I think that's very, very realistic. That's our main level of resistance, all right? So SIGA, number 2 at this point in time. It all comes down to patience. Sitting back, being patient, waiting for the opportunity to present itself, right? Do we get a double bottom at 1386, right? Is there a 5-minute doji reversal candle with the RSI showing divergence right around that 1386 support level? Right now, we don't know. Sit back, relax, wait for that opportunity to present itself. Right now, just get prepared. Support, resistance. Why is the stock moving? How high can it go? Really dissect this stock and get more prepared than the average retail trader does. Be one step ahead. Let's make it happen, guys. All right? SIGA, right now at this point in time, number 2. Did TBLT just drop an offering? Oh, my goodness. TBLT just now dropping an offering, guys. TBLT was number 3 on my watch. It's still going to be number 3 on my watch. And the biggest reason why TBLT is still going to be a top stock on my watch regardless of the offering, this stock has a lot of hype. This stock has a lot of focus and a lot of attention from retail traders. Why? It's being hyped on Reddit. It's being hyped over here, hyped over there. Well, the biggest reason is 132% of this stock is currently short. So out of the 2.2 million in float, right? It's like 2.2 million in float. 2.8 million shares are currently short on TBLT. And we've already started to see a nice little push here with TBLT last week. TBLT was one of our top stocks Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, crushing it each And every day, this stock last week around $2.50, hitting highs Friday of $9.35. So yes, there is an offering right now with TBLT, and it's very common for these cheap small cap penny stocks to place these offerings, especially when their stock's gone on a massive move to the upside. But I still think there could be potential here. One of two reasons. Number one, the hype, the focus, the attention. The hype, the focus, the attention from retail traders, okay? Number two, the fact that it's heavily shorted at this point in time. So right now, let's watch it off $5 psychological support. Let's just see if TBLT even holds $5. Let's see if it bounces off $5. Let's see if there's traders still here with TBLT today. If we ever break back above that 646 and 646 turns back into support, high watch. High watch. Tons of potential, right? Tons of potential with TBLT, guys, right? So over that 646, I believe volume can definitely start moving on in, pushing the stock back up towards around that 780 to 827 level. Anything over 827, we have room to our psychological level, 875, and then up towards around 935. One of our main levels of resistance today would be $10 if TBLT revives itself, right? It's pretty funny how companies issue press releases and how things seem to work in the market. So as a trader, you're looking at TBLT, tons of hype, tons of potential. The stock's been moving up massively over the past 4 days. You're patient. You're waiting for the stock to pull back from $9 resistance back down to, say, $6.50 support. You see a beautiful downtrend. You want to get in for the break. So you're just waiting. You're a great trader. You're patient. You're waiting for the break. You're waiting for volume. You start to see the break. You see the volume. You jump on in. Great trade plan, right? You were patient. You waited for the stock to set up beautifully. And then, boom, they drop an offering on the next freaking minute. Isn't that just a little odd? Right? Just a little odd, right? How convenient is that? Coincidence? I think not. Things are very, very strategic, guys, right? It was no coincidence that we just happened to see the volume move on in. The break of this technical line after we just bounced off a solid level of support, right? Do you guys just think that's a coincidence that they just so happen to drop an offering right when a lot of retail traders are probably jumping on in? I don't think so, guys. I don't believe in coincidences, all right? But this is why right here, and the whole takeaway I'm trying to gain from this, right, to break down for you guys. This is why it's important to not just jump into the trades without plans. Right here, if you would have just jumped in, because you're like, but Josh, it bounced off that support level. But Josh, it broke the downtrend. Josh, there was volume. Josh, I jumped in blindly. Why? Did you have a plan? Were you accounting what we call unforeseen variables? This is what we call unforeseen variables. You could love the freaking trade. It could have a million reasons to take the trade, a million things that say trade, and you jump on in, and then something could happen. The stock could absolutely dump on you. $2 a share, right? $2 a share, guys. You need to have plans before you jump in the trades, right? Where's your stop loss? Where are you pulling the trigger? Where are you getting out if the trade goes south? Don't think the trade is always going to go up or work in your favor, guys. Unforeseen variables, it's a real thing. You always need to make sure you're prepared and positioned correctly to account for what we call those unforeseen variables. So again, use this as an example to never just blindly jump in the trades. Never follow anybody in the trades. Never just buy something because you think someone else is buying it or you think it's just going to go up. Never get into a trade without a plan, without a exit strategy. And that's an exit strategy to the stop outside as well. This is a perfect testament and a perfect example on why we always build plans and position ourselves correctly in our trades to preserve our capital, to stay in the game, to again, be here tomorrow and not blow up these accounts. So again, TBLT, guys, I think there's potential. We broke down these levels, exactly what I want to see. I still think there is potential today with TBLT, but I wanted to utilize this as an example as well, saying, guys, it's very important to make sure you always have plans because anything could happen. Anything can happen, all right? So finger on the trigger when you're in your trades, watching that level 2, peeking at that time in sales, really staying focused. Don't get up and walk away from your desk, especially in pre-market when you don't have stops in the system, and you can't have stops in the system. Your finger and your eyes, Those are your stop losses. You start to see that 550, 540, whatever your stop is on the bid, you're ready to go. You click sell, you're out. Boom, you're done, you're stopped out. Maybe you lost an extra 10 cents, but you're not losing an extra $1, $2. You are ready to react and get out. TBLT, definitely potential today, guys. We will keep it on watch. All right, RYTM. We actually saw a nice little red day here on Friday. And I was talking to you guys about RYTM Friday that, it's very overextended to the upside. We're hitting a lot of key levels of resistance on RYTM, and it's just due for a pullback. It's due for its first red day. I mean, this is a pretty big move to the upside over the last week or two from $4 hitting highs like $15.25. It's really overextended. It's due for a much needed healthy pullback before we see any kind of consolidation and we get our next leg up. So that could be today on RYTM, right? It could be today. And if it's today, I'm willing to short this stock. So below 1275, guys, below Thursdays and Fridays low of 1275, I would like to short RYTM down towards around the 1160s. There's about $1.15 of potential to the downside, and stops would be nice and tight. Stops would be underneath Thursday open, or right over Thursday's open, and right above Friday's close, maybe right around that $13.25, risking about 50 cents to gain over $1 a share on RYTM. I like the risk to reward. I like the idea of our first red day, our first big red day, to start seeing that pullback, that drop, as the stock is very, very overextended at this point in time. Definitely think we could see a good short opportunity today. Not going to take too much time out of the morning to break this down because, again, a lot of you guys aren't shorting, but I just want to let you guys know, hey, I am watching RYTM. I am watching RYTM. If we see the crack in the retest or something right around that 1275 level, I would look to short this down towards around 1160 today here on RYTM. Looks to be a great short, guys, okay? A couple other stocks that we need to discuss as well, right? These are fresh stocks with fresh news. We talked about GOVX, right? GOVX and SIGA are on watch for those reasons we were discussing. Monkeypox, heavily shorted, great volume, low float, tons of hype, tons of attention. Again, these are the top two stocks that I'm watching. TBLT, you guys know why I'm still willing to watch this stock. And then my back burner short on RYTM. But there's a lot of other stocks that have potential today, such as REVB, KAVL, and VS. These stocks have news, all right? So KAVL, international licensing agreement news, right? So we have some decent news there on KAVL. Go take a look at VS. VS, they sign an OTT television streaming media contract. There was another press release here this morning as well. Then you go look at something like REVB, one of the best press releases that we have here in pre-market, right? REVB, shares are trading higher after the company announced its data from its phase 1B clear clinical study. It met the primary endpoint, right? Why is that important? It's just a hot keyword to look for in a press release, guys, right? You have phase 1 trial. That's a 1-star keyword. So when you look at this, you have announcing data from their phase 1 trial. So at first glance, you're like, not a hot press release, not a keyword that's really going to drive a lot of focus and a lot of hype into the stock. But anytime you see met primary endpoints, that is one of the best press releases that you can find with a small cap stock like this. So again, what do you see here in this press release? They met their primary endpoints from their phase 1 clinical study. No wonder REVB is currently up 130% on the day. It's up 130% on the day because that is a hot press release. Traders love that keyword, meeting primary endpoints. And the stock still has more room to the upside. It's less than 10 million in float. It's trading 11 million shares, and on average, the stock trades less than 3 million shares. We have the volume, nice low float stock. One of the best press releases that we have today is here on REVB. I definitely want to keep this stock on high watch. And this is a great stock for those small accounts. For those traders that are working these small accounts, this is a great stock for a small account. We do have room at this point in time back up towards around the 175 to 188 level, and then $2. Support right now, The best level of support, guys, is all the way back down towards around $1 here on REVB. But we just broke our downtrend. We came down, we found some decent support, building little higher lows, finally get some volume move in, breaking the downtrend. I don't think we'll come back down to $1, right? I don't think we will. And if we do come back down towards around $1, I think the stock's dead at that point. I wouldn't want to see this thing all the way back down at $1. At the lowest, maybe a pullback into this 129 region, right? It was a nice little bounce level. We cracked below with some heavy volume, retested a couple of times as resistance, just broke back above that level with volume. I would say 129 is going to be a nice little level of support here for REVB. Cracking below that 129, it does have room back down to $1. But like I said, if we see it all the way back down towards around $1, I don't know if the stock's going to have any more juice left in it, any more attention. And we need that attention to see the volume, to have the stock move, for there to be an opportunity. I think at that point, traders will shift their focus elsewhere. What's the next best opportunity? I think the stock would become dead. 129 is good support. You have room to 175, 188, and then $2 here on REVB. Now, if REVB ever breaks $2 today, again, it has the potential. The float's nice and low, great volume, fantastic press release. We could see the stock all the way back up towards around 234. I would say 234 on REVB. And then I would say right around 263 on REVB. I know some of you guys are probably looking at these upper shadows, but I'm looking at a lot of this consolidation. Little doji candle, some of these highs, some of these lows that line up with some of these wicks and bodies here recently. So I would say like 234 is a good little region to be looking to scale out. And then I would say 263 is another good level that you look to start scaling on out of REVB if you guys are in this. And again, there's a lot of potential. Best press release, low floats, great volume, just broke that downtrend with volume back above that 129 resistance level. We want to see that hold as support. We could absolutely see our next leg up into some of these pre-market resistance levels. And then again, $2. Breaking 2, room to 234, and then 263. Definitely a top stock for today, and definitely a stock that works well for those smaller accounts. So REVB, most definitely, all right? KAVL is another stock that has good potential for today. 155 support, 192 resistance. As we're nearing 930, I really want to focus on the top stocks. KAVL, not a top stock, but there's tons of potential. So if you like KAVL, if you've already done your due diligence, you've dissected that morning stock newsletter, KAVL stood out to you, you dissected the stock, you marked up your levels of support resistance. If this is one of your top stocks for the day, let me help you confirm your levels to get even more prepared to take your trades. 155 support at this point in time, 192 resistance. Anything over that 192 and $2 level here on KAVL, you have room to 250. There is a press release this morning with KAVL. The stock is trading high relative volume, 14 million in float. This stock could definitely move today. It has everything going for it. It's meeting that criteria to be a watch list worthy stock. So if KAVL is in your price range, KAVL was a stock that stood out to you and it's on your watch list as a top 2 or 3. Definitely focus on this one. It does have good potential. 150 to 155 support, 192 to $2 top resistance with room and with potential today all the way up towards around 250. All right, guys. A lot of back burners. Not going to talk about these at this point in time, right? Not going to really discuss VS right now. Not discussing PIK, not discussing PGY. And the reason for that is we have great potential with GOVX. This is where 70 to 80% of the focus is right now, is with GOVX. SIGA has a lot of focus as well. I would say there's going to be some attention with TBLT. And then REVB has great potential. So I have 4 stocks in front of me right now that look fantastic, that have some great opportunity and great potential for the day. If these 4 stocks don't do anything, we'll go look at KAVL. Maybe there's great potential. We'll go look at VS. We'll look at PIK and PGY. But in the morning, our job is to eliminate the noise. Focus on those 2 to 3 stocks that just have the best potential for our reasons that really line up with our types of trading. Are you a traditional trader? Larger float stocks are for you. Are you a dip buy scalper? You want to find these smaller, lower float stocks that can move quickly, that can move fast. So what stock do you like that works well with your trading style and your types of strategies? My stocks that I like for today, GOVX, SIGA, TBLT, and then RYTM. We do have REVB on watch, great potential, and we do have KAVL on watch, great potential. So depending on what works for you, get prepared. And that's what we do in the mornings, is we try and eliminate the noise, remove the distractions, and really just get focused and really get prepared. All right. Couple things I want to point out with the SPY and the Qs, just some key levels of support and resistance before we start our day. Number one, slight uptrend on the SPY. If you start to see the SPY cracking this trend line, which I think is very, very possible, I do think we start to see a crack of this trend line today on the SPY. Support's down at 390.85. So you can see another about 5 to 6 point drop here on the SPY, back down towards around that 390.85 level of support. Now, let's say we don't crack the trend line and we see a nice bounce off the trend line, and you guys are planning on going long on the SPY. You have room to $400. That's it. 399 to 400 on the SPY is resistance. You have slight uptrend support at this point in time. If the trend line starts to crack, you can see the next leg down to 390.85. And the same thing with the Qs. Okay, the Qs right now have 306.71 resistance with this trend line as a light level of support. Kind of looks like we have a little bit of a head and shoulders formation as well. Left shoulder, double top as your head, maybe a right shoulder. You see divergence from Friday. I definitely see a lot of things suggesting another leg down. So if the Qs do indeed crack the trend line, you have room down to 296.43 here on the Qs. Now, if we don't crack the trend line and there's more buyers than sellers here and we bounce off that trend line, then we do have potential back up towards around this 306.71 level. All right, guys. So again, the Qs, 306.71 top resistance. Slight uptrend support at this point in time. You start to see a crack of the trend line, you can definitely short this down to 296.43 support here on the Qs. Same thing with the SPY, just different prices, right? Crack of the trend line, you have room to fade and fall down towards around 390.85. Staying above the trend line, and we see volume and buyers here, we have potential back up towards around $399 to $400. It's such a big week. A lot of things happening in the market. Simplify the trading process. Simplify your approach. You already know these individual stocks are going to really follow the SPY and the Qs intraday. We've seen this for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So, SPY and Qs. We have a lot of big earnings. There's going to be a lot of volatility in the market, a lot of things that are going to be unpredictable. We don't really know what's going to happen. So just focus on the SPY and the Qs, get to know the SPY and the Qs. Let's make it happen. Let's simplify our trading approach this week and just lock in some simple yet big trading profits. All right, team, we have about 6 seconds to go. Number one stock out of the gate for me, I'm going to be watching SIGA down towards around this 1386 level, maybe for a nice little dip buy to get the day going. Maybe a nice little washout long down towards around 1386 to get the day going here on SIGA. But right now, we're all set, ready to rock and roll. Let's have some fun, team. Let's make it happen. Let's lock in some big-time profits, and let's start the week off strong. And again, team, carry that momentum into the rest of the week and just make it happen. So again, where's my dip buy? 1386 on SIGA. 1386 dip buy on SIGA. I just got filled there at 1390 on SIGA off the washout long. I got filled at 13.90 on the washout long. Got to see a strong bounce back above 14. Stops are going to be below 13.75. I got filled at 13.90 on the washout long. I got a 13.90 washout long entry. We got to see an immediate bounce back above 14, about 10 to 20 cents for the scalp. Get something going here. See a nice bounce. There we go. Nice little bounce here, up about 20 cents a share, give or take. Still have potential here. There's 14.10. Let's go ahead and lock in those profits. Let's go ahead and start with a washout long. Washout longs are dip buy opportunities. In and out quick. 13.86 entry. Grabbed about 30 cents on the bounce. Actually, I'm sorry. Grabbed about 20 cents on that dip buy, guys. Again, 13.86 washout long support, grabbing the entry to the penny, getting a quick little 15 cents, 10 to 15 cents. We'll take it, guys. We'll take it. Two minutes in and already in profit. Absolutely. 100%. That's how we do it, guys. Find your opportunities, get prepared, know what you like and why you like it. Right? I liked SIGA and I explained why I liked SIGA over the 10 other stocks we discussed. Right? This is the importance of preparation. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to help you. Confirm your preparation, confirm your levels, answer your questions. Right, guys? I'm not here to just give you the answers. I'm here to help you get prepared. I post the morning stock newsletter for you. Take the time to get prepared. I post everything inside of alerts. I send out those signals. Again, get prepared. And then when I jump on the mic at 8:55 to 9 o'clock and I start dissecting everything, it may be one of your top stocks that you already have on your watch list for your reasons. I come in and help confirm the reasonings behind the trade, help you fine-tune your levels of support resistance, help you build your confidence. You're ready to attack the day when the market opens. Now, if you're like, Josh, you didn't talk about FAZE, right? You didn't talk about that stock. I like it. Here's why. Well, let's dissect it. Let's talk about it. Let's get you guys prepared. But SIGA was the one stock I liked the most out of the gate for the washout long into these pre-market lows of 13.86. That's why I already had a plan. I had an order typed up. I knew my entry. I knew my stop. I knew exactly how I wanted to scale out of this trade. Just lock in a couple bucks there at the start of the day. It's all about preparation. And again, my number one stock still at this point in time is SIGA, guys. So right now from our 13.86 dip buy entry, it's up 30 cents a share at this point in time. DBLT needs to get back above that 650. REVB, it needs to pull back just a little bit, guys. I mean, a little overextended right now on REVB, if you ask me. It already broke the downtrend, came back and retested. It's definitely overextended at resistance. I would want to see a bit more of a pullback before getting a fresh entry. Now, if you're already in, you should have been scaling out at 175. You just hit 174. You should be scaling out here between that 170 and 175, taking a little bit of money on the table. All right, guys, the SPY's starting to crack that trend line. So throw this up on like a higher time frame. Just go back and make sure your trend line is exactly the way it should be. You know how TD Ameritrade is at times. Those trend lines get adjusted every now and then. So just make sure that your trend line is accurate. And that's a pretty accurate trend line. And we're starting to crack below it here. on the SPY. So just get prepared if you're looking at the SPY and the Qs, guys. Right now, SIGA up almost 50 cents from the dip buy. Again, I get in and I get out in this market. Another thing, too, is we talked about this on Friday, that I am switching a few things up. I am personally taking my steps back as a trader to reassess, to re-strategize, to attack this market consistently. And that's one of the biggest things you're going to notice is what I'm trading and how I'm trading. So boom, SIGA back up to 1450 at this point in time. Let's see if we're going to get a nice squeeze. Yep, now we're at 1468, 1470, 1470, 1480. Getting tons of hype here on SIGA. Now up over $1 from the dip by entry. Right at that 1386. So right now, SIGA is that #1 watch. But I want to bring your attention to GOVX here. And the reason I want to bring your attention to GOVX really quickly is because we're right at that $1 level. So watch this around $1. If we see some kind of strength, market structure, something here around $1, that could confirm your entry back up into the 120s there on GOVX. Now, SIGA still is my #1 watch off this 1457 dip buy level. So right off that 1457 break and retest level here on SIGA. Let's see if it's going to hold on up. Can you break and retest over the spiking high, which was right around 1457 to 1460? SIGA is the #1. GOVX is #2. TBLT is #3. REVB is #4. So this could be a great little break and retest here on SIGA at this point in time. Stops would be right underneath maybe like that 1450 level. If it doesn't hold to the penny, the trade's invalid. It has to come down and hold to the penny and then push higher back up towards around 15 and then $16 on SIGA. So it fell right below that level. Fell right below that 1460 level. Definitely not what you want to see for the break and retest. So let's see if we're going to hold 1450 on up here. Wanting to see if it was going to pop right off that high here. It broke above. It did come down to the penny. It was definitely bouncing, showing some potential. But let's see what we have coming on up with SIGA. Nice higher lows. Nice break above the open. A little bit of a red to green move approach. Now we're getting this nice healthy pullback into the open. Right, the open right there at 1446. So the open right there at 1446 here on SIGA. Stops would be under like 1440 here on SIGA. Has great potential. But I'm going to give it a second here and let it maybe calm down a bit. 10 minutes in. Very volatile. Nice big moves. But looking to see if we are indeed going to hold this support level on up. And it's not like super strong support. It's light support. Right around the open, considered light support. We could come down and bounce around that 1420. But definitely, I'm definitely seeing the potential here with SIGA. Definitely seeing the potential here with SIGA, guys. Again, stops are right under that 1450 level. 1475 is now trying to hold on up as a level of support. 1475, just a psychological level, 75 cents. Quick new high day of 15. Let's make sure it's not any kind of like rug pull or anything like that. Last thing I want to be doing is buying a stock for a high day break and seeing a rug pull. The only reason I would consider a breakthrough high a day is because Friday we saw a lot of stocks breaking high a day and ripping and running. There wasn't a lot of rug pulls. We saw stocks breaking high and ripping higher. And so we saw a lot of that consistency with strength with a lot of these penny stocks there just on Friday, with stocks breaking high a day and just ripping to the upside. But again, today's a brand new day full of brand new opportunities in the market. Today's going to really set the tone for the rest of the week. And right now, are we going to see a lot of high day breaks, rip and runs, or are we going to see a lot of rug pulls where we should re-strategize, right? Just kind of adapt to the market. If we're going to see a lot of high day breaks followed by rug pulls, I would be more or less looking to short the market versus looking to go long in the market. So Redbox now out of the hole. Why is Redbox moving on up today? Is there any like catalysts or anything as to why this stock is up today? I know it's a hype stock, but any reason as to why this is currently squeezing to the upside and halting to the upside? I mean, we do have room up towards around like $5 next, 485 to 5 here on RDBX. The last press release, last official press release here on RDBX was back June 17th. So it's been quite a while since we've seen any kind of like official press release from RDBX. Hasn't really done much over the past month, but now we're just getting a slight little pop on up here. All right, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, enjoy the rest of your trading session. You guys are already prepared for the day. You guys know exactly why we're watching GOVX off that $1 level of support, why exactly we were long 1386 on SIGA. You know exactly our top stocks of the day, the reasons why, so you are that much more prepared to attack it, to make it happen. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen, over on YouTube, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, right around 9 o'clock, as we do this once again. Take care, trade safe, and make it happen, guys.